Hello. Today we are going to do a hip flexor yoga, so the front of our thigh. We're going to try to open that up. So let's get into this, shall we? Hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips. And let's just start by retracting the shoulder blades and protracting them. So separating them, bringing them together, just allowing for that little bit of mobility between them. This is really a sequence that is meant to help us open up everything that gets really tight when we're sitting. Whether it's sitting on our couch or sitting at our home office or sitting at our actual office, sitting in the car. We do everything in front of us. So what do we have to do? We have to strengthen the back muscles, wake them up, activate them, and stretch out the muscles in front of us. Settle your shoulders, and then inhale through your nose, arch your back up into cat, and then exhale through your nose and drop down into cow, lifting your head, lifting your hips. So inhale, arch. Exhale, drop down, lift the head, lift the hips. And if you can, try to close your eyes as you feel your body start to move. And then after your next cow, come to neutral. Separate your knees a little bit. Bring your big toes together and sit back into a child's pose. Reaching your hands high as you allow your chest to sink between your thighs. Taking this opportunity to close your eyes. Taking 3 deep breaths as you release all the tension you may be holding. And then walking your hands to the left side of your mat, place your right hand on top of your left. Maintaining breath as you feel your side body open. Walking your hands over to the right side, placing your left hand on top. Walking your hands back to center. Roll yourself back to that 4-point position, that tabletop. Settling your knees back under your hips. Opposite arm to opposite leg, reach forward, find your balance, and then switch sides. Going slow, feeling your core forced to activate, to balance. One more time each side. And then on your last one, hold your limbs long. Bend at the knee and flex your foot. Release your hand down for a moment and start to pulse that heel towards the ceiling. leg bends, release the pulse. Reach your hand back up and bring knee to elbow and then lengthen everything out, pointing your toe as you lengthen out to create the greatest length. Bring everything in, lengthen it out. 2 more like this. And the next time you lengthen out, bend at the knee, keep that toe pointed, reach back with that same hand to grab your foot. Now, we're not at the greatest stretch, but take an inhale, and as you exhale, try to push into that hand, create a little bit more opening, and hold. You don't want to feel this in your low back, you should feel this in your front of thigh. Continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose for 3, 2, and on 1, lengthen everything out and then release it down. Reset, take 1 round of cat into cow, and then come to neutral. Lengthen the opposite sides. Find that length. Bending at the knee, flex your foot, release your hand down, and give that little pulse. Now settle that pulse, reach that arm out, and then bring knee to elbow, and then point the toe as you lengthen. 2 more. Last one, lengthen, bending at the knee, keeping that toe flexed this time as you reach back and open everything up. And maybe you'll kick into your hand to stretch out that front of thigh, but not dumping into your back. Breathing here for 3. And on 1, release everything, create that length, and then release it down. Give a little shift side to side. Now, if you have sensitive knees, you can fold over your mat a little bit. If not, bring yourself up to a kneeling position. Taking your right leg, come forward and start to press into that left hip. So you're pushing forward. Standing tall, roll your shoulders down and back. Horse rider pose. Holding here for 3. And on 1, release your hands down to the mat and start to shift back into that left leg as you flex your right foot. Feeling to start to open up your hamstring of that right leg. And then coming forward again. This time, place your hands on your inner thigh, inner foot. And take that right foot and point the toes out slightly so you can get a little bit more wiggle room with your hip. And you can get a little bit deeper into that stretch of that left hip flexor. Now breathe here. Now, so that you can see what I'm doing with my right leg, I'm going to change my position. So my toes are pointed slightly out so that I'm able to get a little bit of a better depth. Breathe here for another 3. And on 1, walk your toes in and start to press back into that hamstring stretch. Very gently, knowing your body, knowing its limits. Once again, coming forward, hands in your inner foot, heel toe that foot out a little bit. Now, if this feels good, you can try coming down onto your forearms, but know your limits, know what's right for you, okay? This might not be right. We only stretch to the point of tension, not pain, and breathe throughout. Two more breaths here. And then try very carefully to press yourself up onto your palms. Heel toe that toe in. And this time, instead of straightening out that leg completely, bring it back. Knees together. And sit back into a rabbit. So forehead down, hands on either side of your thighs. Just letting everything settle. Hands come to your knees, rolling yourself up. Setting up for the other side. Coming to a kneeling position. Stepping that left foot forward. And then pressing into that hip as you come into that horse rider pose. Rolling those shoulders down and back. Trying to keep that knee over the ankle, not going over the toe. You're here for another 3. And on 1, gently start to lean back into that right leg, pointing those left toes, stretching out that hamstring. Getting ready to go a little bit deeper, bring yourself forward. Hands come to that inner foot and you heel toe the feet a little bit out so that your toe is pressing out a little bit. So you can get a little bit deeper into that right hip. Each side will feel different. So be patient with yourself. And then gently bring your toes in, shifting your weight back, stretching out that hamstring again. Bringing yourself forward and going into an even deeper position, pointing those toes out and seeing if it's right in your body. Come down onto your forearms. Remember, you must be able to breathe throughout. Breaths here. And then carefully press yourself up onto your palms, heel toe that foot in, shift back, but instead of coming back into that hamstring, bringing those knees together and sitting back into your rabbit. Hands on either side of your legs. Bring your hands to your knees. Roll yourself up to a kneeling position. And bring yourself down onto your right side. Lying on your bicep. Kick your left foot behind you and grab the inside arch of that foot. Now it's very easy here to dump into that low back, but if you can press against that hand and open up that thigh. Trying not to open your leg out, but keep it in line with your hip. Breathing here for another 3 breaths. And then gently releasing that leg, rolling onto your back, and taking that left leg and crossing it over your right. We're going to come into a gentle twist, but see what's right for you. Cactus your arms out to the side, opening up that chest. Bring your knees up so that they're over your hips, and take an inhale, and as you exhale, drop those legs over to the right. So it's getting a deeper stretch of that entire left side because the leg is a little bit higher. But if this doesn't feel okay for you, stack your legs right on top of each other. Another 3. And then take an inhale, engage your core. And as you exhale, bring those legs back up and over. But keep that cross. Cross a little bit deeper. See if you can get your knees right on top of each other. As we come into cow face pose, but on our backs. Grabbing the outside of our shins. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, you can separate your legs a little bit and pull your knees closer to your chest. You should feel a stretch on the outside of your left hip. Two more breaths. Gently release, untwine your legs and bring your knees in towards your chest. Give a slight rock side to side. And then place your left arm beside your ear and roll over to your left side. Straightening out your legs. This time, bending that right leg and grabbing the inside arch of that foot. Trying not to open up your hip, but keep it in line. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, maybe you're going to press into that hand, opening up your hip flexor a little bit. One side will probably feel tighter than the other. Taking another 3 breaths here. And then gently releasing that leg, rolling onto your back. And as you roll onto your back, you're going to cross your right leg over. Lift up your legs, come into a cactus pose. And then drop your legs over to the left side, making sure that your knees were in line with your hips as you drop over. Knowing your limits, knowing what feels better in your body, adjusting as necessary. Another 3 breaths here. And then on your next inhale, pull your core in, strengthen it. And as you exhale, bring your legs back up, but continue the cross of your knees. Grabbing the outsides of your shins, coming into your cow face. Take an inhale, separate your legs a little bit, and as you exhale, pull your knees in towards your chest. Breathing here for another 3. Gently releasing, bring your knees in together and in towards your chest. Placing one foot at a time down on the mat, but have your heels close enough that you could tickle them. Getting ready for your bridge pose. Your knees are right in line with your hips. They're not kicking out to the side. And you're pushing evenly through all your toes, the ball of your foot and the heel. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to lift your hips up. And then maybe you can walk your hands under and interlace underneath your low back. Making sure you're able to breathe throughout. Continuing to inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. For another 3 breaths. Gently releasing your hands, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Walk your feet out and allow your knees to knock in together in constructive rest. Something to help open up your chest. Cactus at your arms to the side, trying to keep your wrists and elbows connected to the ground. Straighten your arms up. And then come down until your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Again, reach up and then come back down. Trying to keep that alignment one more time. Reach up and then come back down. One more breath. your hands under your low back. This allows your chest to open. It allows your hip flexors to open. Three more breaths here. And gently release your hands. Roll all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest. Make a table with your legs so that your knees are right over your hips and your ankles are in line with your knees. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, drop them over to the right. This time in a stack twist. You can have your arms out at a T if you have space, or maybe you're going to go back into that cactus. Whatever feels like it's providing more for opening up your chest. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring your legs up, and then drop them over to the other side. Take an inhale, engage your core, and as you exhale, come back over to center. Bring your knees in towards your chest one more time. Inhale, pull your knees in tight, create a small ball, and exhale, release. Again, inhale, create a small ball, and then release. Bring your left arm up beside your ear, roll over onto your left side. Take a moment here. Close your eyes. Take 3 breaths, focusing on the space between your eyebrows. Keeping your eyes closed, use your right hand to press yourself up to a seated position. Eyes remain closed. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Press your thumbs in towards your chest. Thanking yourself for taking this time for your mind, for your body, for your soul. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And I hope you feel a little bit better.